Welcome in to episode 11 of the Coach Ollie Smith Show here in 2024, brought to you by the folks at Twin City Used Cars. So, Coach, a great way to end the regular season. You finished 6-3 with a win over May Jemison.
Yes, proud for our seniors. They getting a win at their house on senior night, man, it was big for them and their families, and it was awesome for the kids.
Obviously, had been on a 2-game skid that not only ends the regular season with a win, but you end with a region win as well.
Absolutely, put us where we want to. Maybe not exactly where we want to be, but in the terms of getting the opportunity to continue playing in the month of November and with a playoff seed.
So your defense dominates. The 2 points on the scoreboard happened late with a safety in the end zone. Talk about what you saw from your defense last Friday night.
Well, I think they settled in and got ready to play Titan football. They got around, they ran to the football really good, they communicated better, and they did a lot of stuff that we've been wanting to see from them.
And some of your seniors kind of showed out a little bit last Friday on senior night. TJ, obviously, who does something that is spectacular every week and then returns a kick, obviously, and then Matthew and Swafford both return catch balls for touchdowns. Talk about what those guys have meant to the program.
Well, you always want to have guys that you call the stable or the pillars in your program, and those guys are. They always on time. They always in the front of the meetings. You don't have to look for them. They lead by example. So those guys right there, we don't expect for nothing but good things from them.
So another chance to get some young guys in, build depth as well, and I got Parker Damien in at quarterback. And what'd you see from those young guys?
Them learning and understanding the game and also being able to, operate the game plan.
Kai ties a game record, 4 touchdown passes. Had a pretty good night at quarterback for you as well.
Absolutely. Kai's getting better every week, and he's still continuing to grow. And that's what we asked him from the spring to now, to just grow every week. And, he don't have to be anybody but Kai. Continue to just get better week in, week out.
Brings us to the play of the week. Kai being Kai, we called it the improv. Kind of set this play up for us as he has to kind of go off script a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit there. When he draws back, it was one of those third down deals, and we were like, hey, don't force it here. We good. We could get it out of there. And it's one of those, you grab your breath. They got him. Take the sack. Now he gets out, and you like, hey, just run. Get out. Hey, just throw it away. Great play right there. So, he kept his head down and did a great job on the scramble drill with us. The receivers, working back on the backside. TJ knowing that he's working to him to take off. So, that was a great deal right there.
It's one of those moments as a coach when you're like, hey, we practiced that. They got that right. They did
Absolutely.
That well.
Hey, great job.
A great moment. That's our play of the week here on the Titan Sports Network. Well, that'll do it for segment 1. We'll come back with a player interview in just a moment. Here back with segment 2 of the Coach Ollie Smith Show in week 11 with junior offensive lineman, tight end Carson Ashley. Carson, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
So Friday night, big win for you guys. Talk about why closing out the season with a regular season win was important to you.
Well, it's not just the regular season win. It was an area win. And, that just helps with the playoffs. We kind of had an idea of who we wanted to play in the playoffs, and we were able to prepare for them just that way. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about you for a minute. What are your future plans? What do you want to do when you graduate?
I'm not super sure
okay.
at the moment. I might go into the Army like my father.
Okay.
I might go to Alabama like my sister. Just a lot of options.
Okay. All right, so you kind of play multiple positions. Who's your favorite NFL player? Who's the guy you look at and go, man, I wish I could be like that guy?
Like currently?
Yeah. Or ever. That'd be fun.
Ever? I'd have to say Gronk. He's just my all-time favorite. He's like the Shaq of football.
Okay. Rob Gronkowski.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. If you had to go on vacation, any spot in the world, where would you want to go? Ideal spot, Dad's paying you go anywhere. Where would you go?
I don't know. Probably like the Bahamas, somewhere like tropical.
Okay. The Bahamas. All right. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I don't know. I've never been able to decide this ever.
Okay. What would your top couple be? What movie you really like to watch?
I like Remember the Titans.
Okay.
Classic football movie. There's this one movie that I used to watch with my mom all the time. It's called October Sky.
Okay.
Watch that. And I always like this one called Full Metal Jacket.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Okay. All right. If you were playing Coach Smith, could you guard him?
Yeah, I could guard Coach Smith.
Okay. Who's the fastest coach on the football staff?
The fastest coach.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say Coach Smith, but I don't think it's him. I know it's not Coach Poole or Coach Edwards. Probably either Coach Smith or Coach Daughtery, if I had to assume.
Okay. All right. Who's the strongest player on the team?
The strongest player.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's either Nemo or Khalid, because
Okay.
they're both just insanely strong.
So when you're in the game, let's go offensive line first. What's your favorite play call as an offensive lineman?
Favorite play call? I just like, run outside, like an outside zone. We get
Okay.
up, we seal the line, and we go up.
Crush the guy?
Yeah.
All right. When you're playing tight end, what's your favorite call?
I like the plays where I get the lead block, so I get like just the free run at the linebacker.
So you just want to play fullback? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I mean, I could.
Just hit somebody in the mouth. Okay. All right. Well, Carson, appreciate you taking a few minutes with us, and go Titans.
Go Titans.
Here for segment 3 of the Coach Ali Smith Show here in Week 11. This is normally the time, Coach, when we talk about the upcoming opponent, but the upcoming opponent is idle. We don't have a game this week. This is our off week. So talk, first of all, about strategically why you choose the final week of the regular season as your off week.
Well, sometimes what we've done in the past, we hadn't been able to find a game, so it took that. But then what we've noticed over the last few years has helped us get healthy, clean up some fundamentals and different things that going into the playoffs.
So you talked about health. You've really, at times, I used to kid with people and say, look, I'm looking for BJ Honeycutt and Trapper because you're a mass unit at some point during the season. Talk about that injury situation and where you are as a team here.
Sometimes you just can't help, but injuries are part of it.
Sure.
And we talk to our kids in January and February when they come, and we say, guys, we need everybody to be learning, and you can't be looking around and
Sure.
look at numbers. You never know when your number's going to be. So you got to be ready to go, and that's where we at right now. We've had a lot of different little injuries over the
Sure.
last few weeks, but that's no excuse. So we got to be ready to go and play. But fortunately, we're right here at the break. We're getting some guys back, getting some guys healthy, and we should hopefully be at full strength in another week.
I know there were some guys, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, who were going to be role players, at least, were thrust into a little more action, like Kamari and Huff, who turned out to play really well for you.
Oh, absolutely, and the funny thing about that is he's been down with dealing with the injury,
Sure.
but he's done a really good job for us, and he's one of the guys we talked about it. He wasn't a day one starter, but now look at him now, and he's gotten better every week.
Prime time has had to come in for you as well.
Man, Prime, Aiden has done a great job. Going into the season, wasn't a starter, and has probably played more football this year than he's played over the last few years here. But he's one of those guys that you love to have in your program. He does everything you ask him, always available for whatever you need.
So when you look back at the 9 games, obviously didn't play McAdory for a myriad of reasons, but you look back at those 9 games, what did you learn about your team?
Well, I think they're resilient, and they really have big hearts and want to win, and they are really emotional group in terms of wanting to please you, and that's one of the things that we can appreciate about this group.
Well, Coach, thank you again for visiting with us here in Week 11. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Coach Ali Smith Show. I want to say thank you to Bobby Ledbetter and the folks at Twin City Used Cars for sponsoring the Ali Smith Show. I want to invite you to join us next week when we will preview the first round of the playoffs against Clay Chalkville. Have a good evening. Go Titans.
Go Titans.